Hey, it's Old Gaming Guru. Alright, we're back with another Last Epoch episode, and this one's going to be about the Druid. Yeah, talk about a very non-meme character. Okay, so I'm going to go back to a principle that I have not used in forever in this game, which is a reflect. Alright, reflect is basically getting hit and returning the damage to the things that hit you. Very hard to go ahead and scale this up, but Druid has some tools to do it, and I thought I'd give it a try. So can I create a character that basically kills things that are trying to kill it and survive that particular beast? Anyway, so here's how the guy plays. Sorry. Let's just say it this way. Alright. Okay, what we're using right now is swipe. Until we get enough reflect damage built into this character, we're going to have to stay in the right gear. We're going to have to stay where we're at right now, which is basically kind of slow leveling and swipe. Okay, so swipe is nice because it heals you, and you've got it in both Werebear form and also your regular form. Werebear is nice because it's kind of tanky, so I'm going swipe totem level. Okay, so we just keep our totems up, switch into different forms. I've got two different forms here. And you can see swipe doesn't do bad damage, but it's nowhere near what it should be, and probably this is one of the reasons why Druid is not meta. It is a great totem-only build, but overall, yeah, you know, there's other characters that clean stuff up a lot faster than this guy. And so I'm right now just running this as is, just for kicks and giggles, because I haven't played basically Primalist in forever. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a build and see, can we actually make reflect work? Alright, so let's continue down the road here. And I mean, it's not slow, it's just not fast. Alright, so playstyle is throw down totems. And let's see how much reflect on damage I'm getting here. Okay, you can see killing is really slow right now. So we got a lot of work to do on this guy, and he likes to change into Spriggan form, so that's also something interesting here. Now, Spriggan form is nice because it's tanky, so is my Werebear form. But I can't cast my damaging totems when I'm in form, so. You know, like I said, is basically you run in, you decide if you want to go into Werebear form or use totems. I like to throw some totems up and then go Werebear. Werebear swipe is definitely much more effective at cleaning up stuff. And Werebear is kind of fun to play. And normally I would play some sort of totem build with Werebear. But Werebear and its Spriggan form both basically last as long as you have mana. Your mana slowly decays. And when you run out of mana, you go back to your human form. Now, when I go out of Weird Bear form, I'm supposed to go into... I didn't. I'm not quite there yet in terms of skill points. Well, I guess I did that time. Okay. So... okay. You can see there I ran out of mana, so my Spriggan form dropped. You can see I get good healing, so I'm really tanky. Okay, we'll go to Weirbear form. Do a nice big fat maul there. There's just a lot going on with this build, and I just can't wait to see if it actually holds up to what it's supposed to do, which is just kill stuff by standing there. So, for my last character for this league, this should be kind of fun. Alright, so that's the playstyle. That's why I was a little convoluted. This is a very convoluted character right now, but basically the whole thing is to build this guy up, then build up Thorn Shield, and then let Thorn Shield take the damage, and you run around and kill stuff. Alright, and while stuff is hitting you, it dies. Okay? And you don't really have to do much but keep Thorn Shield up, and Thorn Shield and your gear will basically do enough reflect damage to kill anything. Alright, so now we've got this up. And we're moving along here in Werebear form. Now I'm going to drop out. I'm going to run out of mana. See, I dropped out. Now I get my totems back, which is good. My totems do good supporting damage. And let me get to that checkpoint, and then we can start explaining how the build works. Okay? So, you're not going to die doing... well, you don't usually die when you're doing normal and just doing the quest line. Alright, but we're here, so let's hop out now and go to end of time. Then I'll explain how this character works and where I'm going with it. Alright, so reflect. Reflect basically is either flat reflect or percentage reflect of damage incoming. And you can get gear that will do up to 100% more damage and do some pretty major damage. So the thing is, we're going to be trying to stack reflect and health so we stay alive through just about anything. And while things are hitting us, that reflect will then kill everything around us. Alright, so to start off with, let's go instead to our primalist skills. What we picked up: attunement and resistances, strength for the melee part, and then health on hit and also increased health, 10%. This one is really important. This is cornered beast. Basically, when you're at low health, you do more melee damage. And also, too, is you take less damage. So that is a really strong defensive note. Right now, everything is in Druid. I'll put some points at Beastmaster and Shaman to get some health up and some reflect up. But right now, what I went for on the Druid side is endurance, armor, health, mana, and I'm picking up the bonuses here. Okay, so we're getting attributes there, more strength, and our damage will play off of our strength, so that's important. We're also going to pick up focused wrath, which increases our damage while we're transformed and reduces the amount of mana we lose. So that one's really, really important. Okay, this then is critical thicket of thorns. When you are hit, you cast Thorn Shield and you have increased armor and reflect damage. Okay, so this is key on basically leveling your guy up. This is also important. Attack, cat, and cast speed. Okay, and we want to get that up. So right here, it actually gives us additional bonuses while we're in Spriggan form. We're going to continue down this path, picking up all the reflect we can. And basically, what we want to do is make this guy have as much health and reflect damage as possible. will then gear out to go ahead and reflect that, and I'll show you that in my next video. Right now I'm just doing an introductory video on how I got to this level. Alright, so there's our skill points. Here's our skills. Okay, you see we're going with swipe. And okay, so big thing in swipe is free totems on hit, and then lightning claw. Okay, our totem, we have additional totems, less mana per totem, and then more damage and basically longer life. So this double damage here is critical, and then farther and further, and then right here we're going to pick this up here with our next point. But we're basically just grabbing totems is a great way to do damage from a distance while we go ahead and tank ads. Alright, our Werebear form, we're going over here to pick up spell damage per strength. Remember I told you our damage basically scales off of our strength. We do additional lightning damage, which affects our swipe. Okay, we have additional endurance while in Werebear form. Maul and Rampage do more damage. Rampage has faster speed. So Rampage is a nice movement skill that does damage. And then after using Rampage, this one's really important. Human form is replaced with Arboreal Protection. Cast Thorn Shield, so there's your Thorn Shield cast, to you and near 5/5 allies, and transmutes me into Werebear form, or Spriggan form. Okay? So we've now got it unlocked and on our bar, so we can basically stay transformed as long as we want. More damage and armor shred. Okay? So there's that one. And we're going to pick up the damage. Okay, and in Spriggan form, we're basically focusing on this part of the tree right here. And we want Thorn Shield to do as much damage as possible. We also want Maelstrom to be cast, so we're going to throw up Maelstrom. We're going to pick that up as a skill at level 50, and that will add more damage around me to creatures that are close. Okay, so we're going to pick up this area here, and that will make us more tanky in Spriggan form, and also to cast Maelstrom. Alright, so on this one here, let's put another point in Maelstrom, and that's our skills. Gear right now is crap. I happen to get this lucky roll here on Taste of Blood using an egg, but all my gear right now is pretty much standard, other than I picked up a number of erase items. What I was looking for was strength, increased physical damage right now. Spell damage isn't bad. And then you can see here I got a lot of crappy points into dexterity, but that's okay. Right now the gear is just not as important, is basically the way you lay out your build. Alright, so don't need that. 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 Alright, so that's how the character plays out. It's really simple. This is just the beginning. I'll do 3 guides on this like I have my other builds. But this is, right now, it's kind of a boring build. It's a little bit slow, but hopefully once we switch over to full reflect, and that should cut about level 52 for all the gear to be available, we will then be going and running this as a full reflect build, and I'll do a video on that when I hit level 52 to 55. But anyways, that's the build. You know, Primalist is a little bit clunkier than some of the other ascendancies, but right now I just really wanted to give this a try and see if this theory craft this and see if this will work. So that's it for today. I appreciate it. If you liked it, like and subscribe. Hey, Old Gaming Guru out.